Ethereum is broken, high fees, slow, it just sucks. Is there no better solution? Well, there are quite a few layer 2s like Arbitrum and Optimism, but hey, they're centralized. But wait, there's actually a new groundbreaking decentralized scaling solution that I think you should know about it. And that's what we'll be talking about in this video. My name is Kieran and you're watching the Decentralized Lifestyle, where I teach you how to invest like smart money. In this video, we'll be talking about a fantastic layer 2 scaling solution called Metis Dao. So Metis is designed like a decentralized autonomous company. You might have heard of DAOs, but this is something pretty revolutionary, these DACs, and they intend to attract and build their own DACs and allow people to create their own DACs on Metis Dao. So Metis Dao is an Optimism fork, but it aims to be way more decentralized. It's a layer 2 framework that runs on top of Ethereum layer 1. And it basically gets rid of all of the Ethereum bottlenecks. If you want early access to crypto deep dives like this one, as well as many other ones, technical as well as on-chain analysis updates, and I highly recommend that you join the DeFi Academy. Sign-ups are currently closed, but you can apply for a guaranteed spot as soon as sign-ups open up. I highly recommend that you don't miss out on that, as many people are taking massive advantage of the services that we provide, and it's benefiting them tremendously. Metis Dao is on the forefront of this scaling revolution. So Metis Dao actually deploys optimistic rollups, which is a fancy word for being able to enable mass amounts of smart contracts without limiting them to simple transactions. So scaling smart contract execution. So as a result, Metis Dao is not only highly scalable, but it's also super fast and has low gas fees. And I'm sure many people really like this because, yeah, Ethereum is super expensive. So that makes Metis Dao super attractive option for many users, as they can interact with many dApps without having to pay these high gas fees. Let's talk about who's actually behind Metis Dao. So Metis Dao is headed by Elena Sinelnikova, the CEO of the company. But that's not everything. There's actually another juicy piece of information I stumbled upon, and that is Vitalik Buterin, the man, the OG himself, the founder of Ethereum, has on a number of occasions actually tweeted about the importance of layer 2 rollup solutions. So for instance, he said this about moving NFTs to layer 2 frameworks. We need to move NFTs onto the layer 2 ecosystem to cut fees. However, doing that right requires cross rollup portability standards so the ecosystem can avoid getting locked into one particular layer 2. Interesting. Natalia Ameline, a co-founder of Metis Dao, is not only an advocate working tirelessly to improve the blockchain literacy around the world, she also happens to be Vitalik's mother. I mean, just crazy. So yeah, one could safely assume that Vitalik might have a soft spot for Metis Dao, even if he hasn't expressed that or endorsed that yet. So you might be wondering, what are the key advantages of Metis Dao? How does it benefit you? How does it benefit me? How does it benefit the ecosystem? So yeah, like we just discussed, it's got improved scalability, lower gas fees, blah, blah, blah. So Metis Dao's actual unique proposition is to make blockchains more accessible for everyone. And that's a very important key advantage, because you won't actually have blockchain adoption if people have to deal with these gas fees, if it's super expensive, complicated, and cumbersome to use. So for instance, Metis Dao's own middleware, Metis Polis, is actually a very innovative tool to move dApps to the Metis platform with zero, I repeat, zero blockchain coding knowledge. That's really awesome. And that, if successful, it would encourage many people to embrace this technology. So Metis Dao is designed to be decentralized, autonomous, and encourages more similar DAOs to be developed on the platform. So Metis envisions sophisticated DAOs that do non-blockchain work like payroll, marketing, and sales to be built on their platform with the ultimate goal to become the hub for Web3 economy. And Web3 economy is basically another word for the DeFi crypto space, the NFT space, the metaverse, blah, blah, blah. Web3 is a way better way to describe this, the direction where all these crypto platforms are moving towards. Now, you might be hearing about Metis Dao, but you already know there's Arbitrum, there's Optimism, and you might be wondering like, why should Metis Dao be better than Arbitrum and Optimism? And that's actually a very great question to ask, and an important one as well. So while Arbitrum and Optimism are layer 2 solutions deploying on optimistic rollups, similar to Metis DAO, but Metis DAO has a very important differentiation and that compared to the two other platforms. So for instance, Arbitrum and Optimism provide support for smart contract execution, but only Metis DAO actually provides IPFS integration, decentralized storage support for smart contract computing. So basically you can have your NFT images actually saved on Metis DAO. So the IPFS aspect is handled by Metis DAO, and that's not actually handled by Arbitrum and Optimism, which is a bit of a downside. There's other advantages for Metis DAO. So for example, Metis DAO is less vulnerable to delay attacks relative to Optimism, and it's also highly scalable compared to Arbitrum and Optimism. It's also way more decentralized. In terms of tokenomics, it's also incredibly interesting. So Metis DAO has a current cap of around $127 million. Currently it's trading at around $67, $69, depending on the exchange. It's currently around 1.8 million Metis tokens in the circulating supply, and the maximum is limited to only around 10 million tokens. Now, buying the tokens is a bit harder, but that can actually be in your benefit. So I believe this is a pretty awesome project, and I've definitely started accumulating some Metis DAO tokens. And the reason why I say it's a bit harder to buy is because the Metis DAO tokens are on some strange exchanges like Gate.io, or on some decentralized exchanges like SushiSwap, Uniswap on the Ethereum blockchain. And there the downside is you would have to pay like super high gas fees in order to buy the tokens on Uniswap version 3. So I do recommend, if you want to buy some, you can actually buy them on Gate.io. So yeah, that was it for this video. I've got high hopes for the Metis DAO layer 2 scaling solution. So a lot of potential behind it. Let me know what you think about the project. I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye bye.